Hello guys, it's Pearl and today I am super excited to give you a quick but very educative tutorial on web design in Speedwapp. Now we are going to learn how to use 5 basic elements or 5 basic things when it comes to web design in Speedwapp. The first one is integration. The second one is styling, how to apply different styling to your work. The third one is overriding, how to apply a particular design to a particular element in your section without affecting the entire section. The fourth thing we are going to do is sizing, how to apply a particular size to the entire section or to a particular element in the section. And the last one we are going to do or explore is how to add an image to your section. So let's get started. Now the first thing we are going to start with is integration. All right, now what is integration? Integration simply means bringing different elements or components together into one section to become a whole or to become one big family. Now let's quickly get practical so that the understanding can be clearer. So let's say I want to add a section because the section allows me to group my components or elements. So I click here and look for the section container, which is right here. Now let's drag and drop the section template. Okay, so I want to enlarge this because I'm going to add other elements or other components to it. Okay, so now let's say I want to add another member to this family. Okay, now the first member I want to add is the heading template. So I drag and drop the heading template. Now I want to add another member to my family, which is the paragraph template. So I drag and drop the paragraph template. Now let's add the same member of the family, which is the paragraph template again. So I drag and drop the paragraph template. Now as you can see, all the templates or all the elements have been arranged into the section, and that is what integration is. All right, just arranging different elements or components into a larger section so that they become a whole, or so they become one big family. So let's assume all these people or all these elements are a family. So we have father, we have mother, and we have child. Okay, now the next thing we are going to do is styling. All right, and how to apply styling to our element or the entire section and also individual section. So now for you to apply a style or a design to the entire section, all you have to do is to select the entire section. Make sure the entire section is selected. And now when you go to font style, and you want to apply a particular font style, you can just type, or maybe you can just choose from the list it gives you. So I want to apply impact. So as you can see, it has affected all the members of this family or all the elements of the section and not only one. Okay, so the grouping or integration allows you to do it, does not allow you to do it manually, which is very easy. All right, now the next thing we are going to do is to select the entire section and also apply bold. Okay, we can also italize it as well. You can also change the color. All right, you can change the color to red, you can change the color to blue, whatever you want to change the color to. Now you can also decide to align your text or align your elements to the center. You can also align it to the right. You can also decide to justify it as well. Now when you come right here, okay, this second button right here is the style button. Now the style button allows you to do a whole lot of changes to your entire section. Okay, so let's just say I want to add a background to my section. All I have to do is to click on this color right here and add the background. Okay, so if this background is okay for me, I just exit out of this. You can further decide to scroll down and do a whole lot of further advanced changes to your work. So if you want to add an upper margin, all you can do is to play with the buttons and the upper margin will be added. Now when you come right here, it says padding. You can also decide to increase the padding to your left, and it's equally going to change for you. Now you can also decide to add borders and do a whole lot of changes to your work. Okay, so as you can see, the border has been added to the right. Now you can also equally increase this and the border will be added as well. You can just play with any of these and things will work out for you, or things will change depending on whatever you want to do. All right, now that is how to apply styling to the entire section or to the entire element of the section. Now let's apply a particular style or a particular color to only one member of the family or to only one element of the section. All right, now that is overriding. Now that brings us to the third thing we are going to do for today, which is overriding. So overriding simply means applying a particular style or design to only one element of the entire section, and it wouldn't affect any of these. Okay, so that means the child has been able to override the mother and father. All right, let's get practical again. So let's say I want to apply a particular style to this one. Okay, all I have to do is select it first and go to font color. Now I change the color to red. Okay, now when I change the color to red, what it means is that I have defined the third element. I have given it a definition. Okay, that is how it's called. I have defined its color, or I have defined its identity. So then whatever changes I want to make to the entire family, it wouldn't affect this one, or wouldn't affect the child, because I have defined the child's identity already. So now let's get practical again. So I select the entire section and I want to change the color of the entire section, or the color of the entire family. Let's choose pink. So as you can see, when I changed the color to pink, the child is not being affected, or the third element is not being affected, because I have defined the third element. Okay, now that is how overriding, or that is how overriding works, or that is what overriding means. So once you make a change to a particular element in your section, you cannot reapply that element to that section again. All right, now let's do more examples with size so that the explanation can be clearer. So this time around, we are going to move to size. Okay, now let's drag and drop other elements. So I'm going to drag and drop title. Okay, and I'm going to drag and drop paragraph again. Okay, now this is title and this is paragraph. You can see that when I dragged and dropped, it has inherited the properties of the family, or it has inherited the properties of the larger section. So when it comes to size, let's say I want to change the size of these two family members, or these two additions. It is equally going to affect the entire family. So let's do that and see. So you select the section and just change the font size of the family. So as you can see, everybody is being changed. Everybody is being changed in the family. Okay, now that is how it works. But if I define one person, or if I define one member of the family with size, so let's say I want to define this particular element of the family. I want to make this one, or I want to give this a specific, how do you call it, definition, or I want to give it a specific size. All I have to do is select it. Let's make it the last one so that it can be clearer. All I have to do is select it, and let's reduce the size to 8 is too small. Let's reduce the size to 15. Okay, now I've reduced the size to 15. All right, now let's say I want to change the entire size of this family. Let's not forget that I made an individual change to the last member of the family, so I have defined it again. Now if I change the size of the entire family, it's not going to affect this because I've given it a particular definition. Now let's do that and let's see how that works. So I select and change the font size of the family to let's say 70. So you can see this one was not affected at all. This particular one was not affected at all because I have given it a particular definition. And that is how overriding simply, or that is what overriding simply means. How a particular element in the family can override the entire family, or how a particular component in the family may not inherit the properties of that family. I hope it's very simple and also very clear. Now at this point, we want to add an image to our section so that it can fit or join into this family. So it's very simple to do. All you have to do is to locate the component and also look for where your image template is, which is right here. So let's drag and drop our image template. And you can see that the image is very big. So all you have to do is to resize it right from the sides. just resize it to anything you want it to be or how you want it to fit your page. Now you can actually see that I am trying to move the image, but it is not moving. This is because by default my image is in a fixed position, or it's in a static position, so I can't move the image. So if I want to make changes to this image, I first of all have to click on the image, and this button opens for me. So as you can see, image is boldly written right here, which shows me that this is the image control panel, and I have to scroll down or scroll and look for position so that I can position my image, or I can change it from static to something movable, right? So now let's change the position of our image by clicking this drop down arrow right here, and let's move it to absolute, or let's change it to absolute. Now when I change to absolute to allow me to move my image around, and I can further resize my image to how I want it to be or how I want it to look like, and just reposition it, drag and drop and reposition it to wherever I would want it to be. Now today I am very, very certain you've learned a lot. This brings us to the end of our tutorial, and I am certain you've been able to learn a whole lot of things in just a short period of time. You've been able to learn how to do styling, integration. You now know what integration is. You also know how overriding works and how to override other elements in the entire section, and also how to apply sizing to a particular element and to the entire section, and finally how to add images to your work and also resize it. I'll come your way with something educative and something interesting. But if you have not subscribed to my channel, how would you know when I come your way with something unique? So if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel, and I'll always come your way with something good.